Hello. Welcome to the 11th annual Veterans Day program here at Sugar Valley Rural Charter School. Due to circumstances beyond our control, we have decided to do a video this year rather than having everyone come to campus. I hope that you enjoyed the video that our students have put together for you, and I would just like to say thank you to all the veterans. Thank you for your service, thank you for our freedoms, and God bless.
Please rise for the presentation of our colors. Color Guard, advance. Color Guard, post the colors. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please rise for the national anthem.
Throughout this nation's history, America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom, to aid our friends and allies, and to turn back aggressors. Today, it is our honor to say thank you to all of America's veterans, to let them know that we appreciate them for their service and honor them for their sacrifices. I, myself, am humbled to be part of this ceremonial program where we dedicate ourselves to thanking those who have served for our freedom. For nearly a century, since the guns of the First World War fell silent on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, the American people have observed this day, first as Armistice Day, and now as Veterans Day. 76 years ago, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed what many historians consider the greatest social legislation ever passed by U.S. Congress. As popular as the GI Bill remains today, it took the horrific costs and bloodshed of World War II to remind many Americans just how great a debt is owed to our veterans. This effort to pay respect and homage to our nation's veterans continues to this day. All around the nation, groups, organizations, and schools are holding programs and celebrations much like ours, each unique in their own right. We are grateful that you have chosen to celebrate with us here at SVRCS. Sergeant Major retired Douglas S. Kozier was born in Lewistown, PA. He entered the U.S. Army in July of 1985 and completed Military Police I Station Unit training at Fort McClellan, Alabama. Sergeant Major Koser served in every law enforcement and leadership position available in the military police corps, culminating in his assignment as Command Sergeant Major for the 91st Military Police Battalion in Fort Drum, New York. He retired from active duty in 2010. He still serves and wears the Army uniform every day as he is presently serving as a junior ROTC instructor at Union High School in Sampson County, North Carolina. His deployments include Operation Just Cause, Panama, Operation Promote Liberty, Panama, Operation Joint Endeavor, Joint Guard, Bosnia and Croatia, and POTC in Jordan during Operation Iraqi Freedom. He has a bachelor's degree in history from Excelsior University and is working on his master's degree in organizational management. Sergeant Major Koser is married to his lovely wife Dawn, and together they have 4 grown children, 8 grandchildren, and 3 dogs. They reside in Burgaw, North Carolina. Of all his achievements, Sergeant Major Koser says he is most proud of being the father of the 3-time golf Coach of the Year for the Mid-Penn Athletic Conference.
Good day, students, parents, faculty and staff members, the entire Sugar Valley community, and especially any veteran that may be in virtual attendance today. I'll start off by thanking you for your service. Thanks to Blaine for that fine introduction, and a special thanks to Mrs. Walliser for, number 1, having this program and honoring our veterans, and number 2, asking me to speak here today. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my son Tyler for tying the whole room together. I mean, did he not? Sorry, that was a private father-son joke. I had to do that. Okay, so the topic I was asked to speak about today is what being a veteran means to me. Well, I'm not your typical veteran, so my message might seem a little skewed. The average young American that decides to join the military today does not end up committing to the amount of service that I ended up having. And I myself did not plan to serve so long in such a large organization. It just kind of happened. So I am that rare person that decided to be affiliated with the United States Army for virtually my entire adult life. By the time I end up retiring from being a JROTC instructor, I will have had almost 50 years of wearing a United States Army uniform. And I just have to say that I've been truly blessed to have the opportunities that I've had in that time. Yes, it's taken sacrifice. Yes, it's taken hard work and commitment. Yes, the United States Army has sent me places that I didn't want to go during times that would cause me to miss special family and life events. But in the end, somebody had to go do those things. Somebody had to go to those places. And I was proud to be just one of many that, in my opinion, truly transformed how the military is perceived and treated by our citizens. You see, when I joined the Army, our military was recently detached from what many people think is one of our country's biggest mistakes, trying to stop the spread of communism in Southeast Asia, specifically the Republic of Vietnam. The politics and the rules of warfare during that conflict were so complicated that most of America wondered why we were even there. And there were some soldiers and leaders that did things there that nobody could be proud of. I won't dredge up those things that happened, but suffice it to say, our country was not very proud of our military during the 1970s and the early 80s. Now, that being said, I would like to add that regardless of the things that a few people and leaders did there was a whole generation of service members that was treated unfairly when they returned home. All they did was serve their country in a place that almost every one of them didn't want to go. And many of them were forced to do it through the draft. I would just like to take a second to once again thank all veterans for their service, but a special thank you and a special recognition to that era of veterans from the 1960s and 70s that were not treated with the honor and respect that they deserved. I think we've changed the attitudes of America now, but that can't undo the things that happened to some of those folks. So for whatever it's worth, we do thank you. Anyway, I said all of that to say this. When I reflect on my many years of service, all the things I accomplished as a soldier, I think what I'm most proud of was to be a tiny piece of a generation that truly made a difference. We showed America that we could do anything as veterans, anything necessary to defend our freedoms and protect our way of life. And since 1973, it's been with an all-volunteer force. So as I said, I'm very proud to be just a tiny little part of something that was greater than us all. So for me, I have had a very successful career in the Army. I made it to the top enlisted grade. I'm thankful to all the great Americans that I served under and that served under me. What I saw on a daily basis, that sense of hard work and cooperation, I was truly blessed to be a part of that. And I would not have been successful as I was without those individuals that I served with, directly with. So a special thanks to all of those folks. And lastly, I am honored to continue to serve in the role of JROTC instructor. Some folks think that the military has no business in our high schools, that they shouldn't be there training little soldiers. Some people think that that's what JROTC is about. But to those folks, I would say this: that is the last thing that we are doing, training young Americans to be members of the military. We teach them citizenship and leadership skills and life skills that they would get nowhere else. And I'm very proud of the program that we have established. We would rather our cadets go to college than join the military. And in fact, statistically, the ratio of those cadets that do go to college versus those that enlist in the military is about 10 to 1. So we are a successful program, and our mission from the United States Army is to motivate young people to become better citizens. And we focus on that word better. And once again, I'm very proud of that. I am still serving as a part of the United States Army, and I truly love making a little difference to the next generation of Americans, those folks that will be the future leaders of our country. And really quickly, for those that were wondering, my son Tyler chose to become an educator long before his father did, so he's not following in my footsteps. I'm actually following in his footsteps. And I'm as proud as a father can be of my son and the things that he does for you guys every day. Having a kid like that makes life more grand for a person like me. So anyway, I'm just saying. I'll close by saying this. Thank you again to all for giving me this opportunity to speak about something I'm very passionate about. And thanks to all past, current, and future veterans for keeping America the best country on planet Earth. Thank you again, and happy Veterans Day, everybody.
From the hour of our nation's birth, our best, bravest, and strongest have stepped forward to defend our freedom. Their service stretches back into even the earliest parts of American history. Nearly 50 million men and women have donned the uniforms of the United States military, while nearly 20 million still walk among us today. Even as we speak, a new generation of American veterans are being forged across the nation. In the great branches of our military, such as the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, and now the Space Force. When asked what a veteran is, by definition, a veteran is a person who served in active military service and who is discharged or released under conditions other than dishonorable. A veteran is the picture of a hero, yet just a normal person to them. They are servicemen and women of courage and discipline. They're modest and look for no publicity while claiming they are just doing their job. They are people who live a life of discipline so we can enjoy the freedoms that we hold close. Ms. Rosman's first grade will be presenting a Veterans Day poem by Cheryl Dyson.
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to the service call. soldiers young and soldiers old. We fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived by others die, and all of them deserve our pride. Proud of all the soldiers who, thinking of red, white, and blue, they fought for us and all our rights. They fought for many days and nights. We may not know each name. We thank all legends just the same.
And now, a special presentation by Miss Hinton's first grade.
T
H
A N K Y O U V E E R A N S. Thank you, veterans!
If You're Reading This by Tim McGraw, read by Mrs. Lamey's 6th grade class.
Mrs. Lamey's 6th grade class reading Tim McGraw's song, If You're Reading This.
If you're reading this, my mama's sitting there. Looks like I got a one-way ticket over here. Sure wish I could give you one more kiss.
And war was just a game we played when we were kids. I'm laying down my gun.
I'm hanging up my boots. I'm up here with God, and we're both watching over you.
So lay me down in that open field on the edge of town.
And now my soul is where my mama always told that it would go, and if you're reading this, I'm already home.
If you're reading this halfway around the world,
And we'll be there to see the birth of our little girl.
I hope she looks like you. I hope she fights like me.
Stands up for the innocent and weak. I'm laying down my gun. I'm hanging up my boots. Tell Dad I don't regret that I fought in his shoes.
so lay me down in that open field out on the edge of town.
And you're my soul is where my mama always prayed that it would go.
And if you're bringing this, I'm already home.
If you're reading this, there's going to come a day. And find someone else, and that's okay.
Remember this, I'm in a better place. Where soldiers live in peace and angels sing Amazing Grace.
So lay me down in that open field on the edge of town.
And know my soul is where my mama always prayed
That it would go, and if you're reading this, I'm already home.
And now, a poem read by Mrs. McGinnis's 2nd grade class.
Dear veteran,
Army, Navy, Marines, and Air Force too.
fighting hard for me and you. Protecting our freedom every day.
Fighting, making it impossible to work and play.
Your star shines so very bright. And every day in life. We are so proud of you.
Keeping us safe.
The red, white, and blue.
Please enjoy this special presentation by Mrs. Bull's 6th grade class.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Poppy's poem performed by Miss Hipple's kindergarten class.
Poppy, poppies, red and bright, remind us of the people who fight to make our world so safe today, so we can work and live and play. Thank you, Budget!
A collection of poems by the SVRCS Drama Department.
On Veterans Day by Joanna Fuchs.
While we were here at home, they traveled land and sea
to make sure we stayed safe, to protect and keep us free.
Words are not enough to give them what they're due.
On Veterans Day, please thank them for their service to me and you.
The Best on Earth, a Veterans Day tribute by Joanna Fuchs.
Someone has been military service, they earn the title veteran and more. They earn our deep respect and admiration that they are special no one can ignore.
They sacrifice the comforts we enjoy. The list is long of all the things they gave. Our veterans are extraordinary people. They're loyal, dedicated, true, and brave.
When terror and invasion were real threats, they showed us they can handle any storm. We are our freedoms in our very lives. To our veterans who served in uniform.
Our veterans should be celebrities. They're exceptional, no other group compares. We're grateful for the many things they've done. They're always in our hearts and in our prayers.
We owe our veterans support and friendship. Let no one ever question what they're worth. These men and women served us and our country, our veterans, the very best on earth.
The Noble and the Brave, a Veterans Day tribute by Joanna Fuchs.
When America had an urgent need, these brave ones raised a hand.
No hesitation held them back. They were proud to take a stand.
They left their friends and family. They gave up normal life.
To serve their country and their God, they plowed into the strife.
They fought for freedom and for peace on strange and foreign shores.
Some lost new friends, some lost their lives in long and brutal wars.
Other veterans answered our call to support the ones who fought.
Their country had requirements for the essential skills they brought.
We support every one of them,
the noble and the brave.
The ones still with us here today, and the ones that rest in a grave.
So here's to our country's heroes. They're a cut above the rest. Let's give the honor that is due to our country's very best.
Miss Blazina's 4th grade class presents a Veterans Day poem by Cheryl Dyson.
Veterans Day by Cheryl Dyson.
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answer to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died. All of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who could think of red, white, and blue. For us and all our rights, they fought through many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
Soldier, performed by Miss Hockenberry's 5th grade class.
This is a poem written by a Vietnam disabled veteran, George L. Skytrack. It is one of the most displayed poems among various museums and monuments, not just in the U.S. but across the world.
Soldier by George L. Skytrack.
I was that which others did not want to be.
I went where others feared to go.
And did what others failed to do.
I asked nothing from those who gave nothing.
And reluctantly accepted the thought of eternal loneliness should I fail.
I have seen the face of terror,
felt the stinging cold of fear,
and enjoyed the sweet taste of a moment's love.
I have cried, pained, and hoped,
but most of all, I have lived times others would say were best forgotten.
At least someday I will be able to say that I was proud of what I was. A soldier. As I look upon the stars and stripes in your noble history, I'm overcome with thankfulness for all
performed by Isaiah Neerhoof and Garrett Hampton.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your
Happy Veterans Day.
Hello, I'd like to wish all the veterans a happy Veterans Day, and I definitely want to say thank you for your service.
Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
From all of us at SVRCS, Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
As we conclude our ceremony, I'd like to echo the words of Vice President Mike Pence to our veterans looking on. The American people are with you. You do not carry your burdens alone. As a nation, we stand ready to help you shoulder that load with the compassion, support, and prayers of the American people. This is truly the land of the free, because it's still the home of the brave, and you, our veterans, are the brave. You stepped forward and counted our lives more important than yours, and we thank you for that. Thank you for joining us in celebrating America's veterans. Happy Veterans Day.